and Raganuga, which means Vaidhi is following of the rules and regulations, and Raganuga is a spontaneous devotional service. And in the 15th, so through to 16, they discuss that, and I have to double check, but it is 15th and 16th chapters, or 14th, 15th, and 16th chapters that deal with Raganuga Bhakti. And after Raganuga comes the Bhava Bhakti, which is dealt in 17th and 18th chapters, and Prema Bhakti is dealt in the 19th chapter. So Srila Rupa Goswami, he gives just a glimpse, just like in the movie, the trailer is given just to give a taste of what Prema is, because after all, we are all here for what purpose? Giving up everything else is to achieve love of Godhead, and that's the most rarest, unique, and the richest possible treasure one can obtain in the entire existence. And so the 19th chapter, Srila Rupa Goswami talks about Prema, but he doesn't discuss much at all. From in the southern part, we see that there is a gradual discussion of Prema. What is Prema? And how does Prema flow? Because when you talk of Prema, love, it means that there is a object to be loved, and there is a person who's loving that object to be loved, and then there is also the process of love. And so how does this come about? Is that something happening only to Krishna? Does only Krishna experience the love? Does the devotee experience the love? If yes, then what is the proportion which the devotee experiences the love? More importantly, what is about Krishna only, uniquely, that gives such spontaneous love in the heart of the devotee? Is it something special about Krishna that causes the devotee to love him? Or is it more to it? How does the love flow? And more importantly, what are the characteristics of that love? How do we identify that love? Is that love some sort of emotion in the heart that kind of has no external manifestation or no visible symptoms? Or are there some visible symptoms? More importantly, how that love never recedes. And how is that love, Krishna is unlimited, yet the love for him increases day by day? What does it mean by all those things? So these things are discussed at length in the southern part. So we see that, you know, it goes from the chapter 20 discusses transcendental mellow qualities of Sri Krishna. So 2 chapters are just focused on that, and then, you know, it's chapters 21 through 24 are just about Krishna, and then 25th is about devotees of Krishna. And then there are many technical terms. What is Vishayalambana? What is Ashrayalambana? And then what are the further divisions of Ashrayalambana? And then Alapana and Udipana. So those are all the things that are being discussed here. And then after that is what are the different types of bhakti, sai, what emotions, sai, vyabhichari, sanchari, so on, and other things. It's technical, but at the same time highly relishable. So what time? Again, I apologize for the delay in starting because of my own mistake or fault. So we can read a little bit starting from chapter 20 today, unless the devotees had any special concerns. And more importantly, I would welcome all the devotees. I am so happy that, you know, all the devotees have come back together to start where we left off. I know it has been a long break, and please forgive me. This is my following objectives as we move forward on this particular program. One thing would be that I will be grading your papers and having the marks ready before we start the 4th semester. And I would request the devotees to make sure that they have their essays printed out or somewhere there is a hard copy, so we can collect all the materials for the devotees, both their exams and essays, into one particular folder or category. So please make sure that that happens. Anything else? Any other questions? Any other comments? Again, welcome. I'm grateful. And Rasika Mataji, I'm so very sorry for not seeing your email. And it's,
Prabhu,
yes.
sorry, Prabhu, I have to, because you called me twice. And sorry, yesterday we have been in Sadhu Sangha call like until midnight, 1 or 2 something, and then I couldn't call you back.
No
Sorry,
problem.
that's why. I had meant in my email that I'm leaving to India. We are leaving to India on Saturday, next Saturday, not this Saturday. So maybe that was the
So
confusion.
let me go ahead and start reading the introduction. So I can read a little bit and the devotee can pick from where I left off, and then we can take it from there. Next week we'll start wherever we left off. It is 12 short chapters, so we should not have too much of um, material to cover. If the material is intense, of course, if we have to study in detail, probably we'll spend a lifetime trying to understand what Srila Rupa Goswami gave us. But nevertheless,
Hare
so,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Sorry to disturb, Prabhu. I just had a quick question.
Yes, Mataji.
Devotion, we're starting from the 20th chapter now, which is the second division, and goes on till how many chapters, Prabhu?
34.
34, and that's this entire semester, right?
Yeah, yes, that's this entire semester for this reading. But it's a short semester. Maybe we won't take as much time. Just to remind the devotees, we do not have any exams, we do not have any essays, we do not have any sort of homework. Just we relax and enjoy our.
Oh, there's no exam on this chapter on during this semester?
No exam, no essays. We can if the devotee.
Yes, Mataji, that's the best part, I think.
No, I think then I want to understand this. I'm so competitive oriented, and this exam I'll study. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk for everybody, but I just said my thoughts.
No. If the devotees are, if we have time and if we have the interest, I definitely would try to spare some more time, maybe for a few weeks, to read Tattva Sandarbha before we go on to the fourth canto. But we will see about that. Given that we lost some time, we'll see how we can adjust the time. That will be a nice reading.
Now, so this is not Vaidhi Bhakti Mata race. We don't need to talk anything.
We are all in that. I mean, at least I can talk about myself. I'm still in that state. If there is a day, you do it. Otherwise, no.
We want to see that.
I can hear you.
That's a good one, Vedavit.
Prabhu, what?
Yes, Sukeshwari Mataji, what can I? You were asking something.
Shwari Mataji, I muted you by mistake. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I was just saying that I didn't understand what Prabhuji said. Vedavit Prabhu.
So basically, we have rules of essays and exams and such, right? Because we are reading Nectar of Devotion, southern part, which is spontaneous love of Godhead, we do not have any exams or rules.
Thank you. Got it.
All right. So praying at the lotus feet of our spiritual master and his divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada and the entire Guru Parampara, leading up to the six Goswamis, headed, including Srila Rupa Goswami and the supremely merciful Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, seeking their blessings and begging for their mercy so that we can understand this very deep and completely esoteric subject matter of love of Godhead. Let's start reading a little bit. Nectar of Devotion, Chapter 20, Transcendental Mellow. In the second division of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the author offers his respectful obeisances to Sanatana. This Sanatana can be interpreted either Sri Krishna himself or as Sanatan Goswami, the elder brother and spiritual master of Rupa Goswami. In the case where Sanatana is accepted to mean Sri Krishna, the obeisances are offered to Krishna because he is naturally so beautiful and because he is the killer of the demon Agha. If it is interpreted to mean Sanatana Goswami, then it is because he is so greatly favored by Rupa Goswami, being always served by him, and because he is the annihilator of all kinds of sinful activities. In this division of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the author wants to describe the general symptoms of the transcendental mellow, loving mood of discharging devotional service. In this division of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, there are 5 topics. First, Vibhava, special symptoms or causes of ecstasy. Second is Anubhava, subsequent ecstasy. Third is Satvika Bhava, constitutional or existential ecstasy. 4. Vyabhichari Bhava, aggressive ecstasy. 5. Sthai Bhava, fervent or continuous ecstasy. Please note that Satvika Bhava is either constitutional or existential. So when the term comes up, then we should refer it back to Satvika Bhava. And same is the case with Sthai. Sthai is like is continuous, or which is present, ever present. So fervent or continuous ecstasy. Let's continue reading. The word rasa used in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is understood by different persons differently because the exact English equivalent is very difficult to find. But as we have seen our spiritual master translate this word rasa into mellow, we shall follow in his footsteps and also translate the word in that way. The particular loving mood or attitude relished in the exchange of love with the Supreme Personality of Godhead is called rasa or mellow. The different types of rasa, when combined together, help one to taste the mellow of devotional service to the highest degree of transcendental ecstasy. Such a position, although entirely transcendental to our experience, will be explained in this section as far as possible, following the footsteps of Srila Rupa Goswami. Mataji, if you can just page up a little bit, please. Thank you. Without relishing some sort of mellow or loving mood in one's activity, no one can continue to perform such activities. Similarly, in the transcendental life of Krishna consciousness and devotional service, there must be some mellow or specific taste from service. Generally, this mellow is experienced by chanting, hearing, and worshipping in the temple and being engaged in the service of the Lord. So when a person feels transcendental bliss, that is called relishing the mellow. To be more clear, we may understand that the various feelings of happiness derived from discharging devotional service may be termed the mellows of devotional service. I had a question. So, what is the difference between rati and rasa? Here, Srila Prabhupada is writing that there is what is called relationship and there is something called experience. So that gives a clue to the answer.
Sorry, Prabhu, can you please repeat it?
What is the difference between rati and rasa?
Isn't rati means particular attraction?
Yes. Yes.
And rasa means like experience, taste, like Mataji said, taste.
Nice, Mataji. Yeah, we are inching closer. Yes. Wonderful. I think the answer is that rati is a specific attraction. In this case, is a specific relationship with Krishna. For example, the reason I'm bringing up earlier, we'll discuss more, is that for Srila Rupa Goswami actually gives this example as we go ahead, there is a relationship between mother and child, which is called rati. But when that child, God forbid, something is happening and the child is slowly crawling towards a well, and the mother is doing something, and the child is inching towards the well, slowly going towards the well, and all of a sudden, the mother somehow sees that the child is actually about to fall into the well in 15 seconds. So that emotion that mother experiences is called rasa, but whereas the rati is already the relationship that exists. So rasa, strictly speaking, again, the rasa, Srila Prabhupada writes in the earlier thing, it is just not possible to explain that word in an English in its proper particular way, but it's just the mellow or the taste or the joy, the experience we get when we serve Krishna, that is called rasa. And that is the difference between rati and rasa. So it's that dynamics is what constitutes the devotion, the rasa. Is that a little bit clear? We can go ahead, but we can. So it's something to keep in mind, because this term mellow, experience, relationship, all these come, and the play of these is what is called rasa, and we can experience more as we go along. Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhu. At least for me.
So
Thank you, Shiva.
thank
That was a wonderful explanation. Like in layman terms, it really helped understand the difference.
thank you, Mati. Thank you, Kendra. To be more clear, so last line of that particular paragraph, to be more clear, we may understand that various feelings of happiness derived from discharging devotional service may be termed as quote unquote mellows of devotional service or rasa. So so if you want to be really pedantic and uh, and Mother Yashoda is just doing her normal things, and she is involved in other household activities, and it's strictly speaking it's rati. She is not experiencing the rasa, because she her emotions are, though always centered on Krishna, in this case they do not have a direct experience. So just to clarify, thank you. This relishing of transcendental mellow in discharging devotional service cannot be experienced by all classes of men, because this sweet, loving mood is developed only from one's previous life's activities or by the association of unalloyed devotees. As explained above, association with pure devotees is the beginning of faith in devotional service. Only by developing such faith in association of a pure devotee, or by having one's previous lives executed in devotional service, can one actually relish the mellow of devotional service. In other words, this transcendental bliss is not to be enjoyed by any common man unless he is so extraordinarily fortunate as to be in the association with the devotees, or to be continuing from his previous birth's devotional activities. And the point here is, again, Mahaprabhu's mercy comes into picture, because this is so rare that it is not to be given to anybody, but he never considered who was fit or who was not fit, and he gave this love of Godhead so freely, which was the most hidden, most treasured, most difficult object to obtain. So that is why the mercy of Gaura is again and again praised. When we read Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, then we really appreciate the mercy of Mahaprabhu on how he gave without considering all these things. But the gradual process of development to the stage of devotional service is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto. The beginning is to hear about Lord Krishna in the association of devotees who have themselves cleansed their hearts by association. Hearing about the transcendental activities of the Lord will result in one's feeling transcendental bliss always. It is also in the Bhagavad Gita that for one who has actually come to spiritual platform, the first symptom visible will be that he is always joyful. This joyous life is attained by one's reaction to reading Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam, or else from associating with persons who are very interested in the spiritual life of Krishna consciousness. Specifically, those who have made the determination to achieve the favor of Govinda by being engaged in the transcendental loving service at his lotus feet. Being encouraged by such a feeling, one who is constantly engaged in discharging the regulative principles of devotional service in such a way as to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, develops two principles of compelling force, which come under the heading of Vibhava. Thus, one enjoys transcendental bliss. There are several origins or causes for this compulsive love of Krishna, such as Krishna himself, the devotees of Krishna, or Krishna's playing the flute. The effect is sometimes loving and sometimes stunted. There are 8 transcendental symptoms found in the body during ecstasy, and all of them are possible only by the mixture of above mentioned 5 ecstatic symptoms. Without some mixture of these 5 ecstatic principles, one cannot relish the transcendental bliss. The cause or the basis for relishing transcendental mellow is exactly what we mean by Vibhava. The Vibhava is divided into two, basic and impelling or impetus. In the Agni Puran, the description of Vibhava is given as follows. The basis from which ecstatic love is born is called Vibhava, which is divided into two, basic and impelling. In other words, there are two kinds of ecstatic love. The object of basic ecstatic love is Krishna and his devotee. Lord Krishna is the object of basic ecstatic love, and his pure devotee, a reservoir of such love, is the object of impelling ecstatic love. So, in Sanskrit, it is called Vishaya and Ashraya. So, Lord Krishna is the object of basic ecstatic love, means object here, Srila Prabhupada, object is translated from the word Vishaya, which is Krishna is the Vishaya or the object. And then Ashraya is that the devotees are the shelter or the reservoir of that ecstatic love. And so the love flows between Krishna and his devotees. Strictly speaking, the third person cannot access that love unless he has the mercy of a pure devotee, which sets aside one of the controversial topics, not controversial, but a little bit controversial, because there are statements in so many places that the holy name of Krishna is so powerful that we do not even need any initiation to be liberated. It is actually mentioned directly in Chaitanya Charitamrita, in the Madhya Lila in the 15th chapter for the devotees who are interested. So then why are we taking initiation, or why do we need? We can juxtapose those two contrasting ideas, and then we can put it here. So it's called Vishyalambana and Ashrayalambana. So those are the two Sanskrit terms that are being used here. Let's continue reading.
Prabhu, I had a question.
Yes, Mataji.
Here it says the pure devotee is the object of impelling ecstatic love.
Yeah.
So earlier we said like Krishna is the Vishaya, he is the object, and devotee is the subject kind of thing. So in this other thing, is it like the change? Like in the second division is the impelling one, it says devotee is the object of impelling ecstatic love.
Is the change? I'm sorry, I didn't get the last part of your question, Mataji.
No, because they are talking about two kinds of ecstatic love, right?
Right.
One is basic and another is impelling. I didn't understand the second one exactly. The basic one is clear, like Krishna is the object.
Right.
And I didn't understand what is that impelling love where the devotee is the object.
Okay. In that, so both are objects, but Krishna is the impeller, or his qualities of transcendental attributes are so deep that he is the object, whereas the devotees are impelled or spontaneously attracted to love him. So in that sense, the devotees have that unstoppable attraction to Krishna, that they are impelled to love because of his transcendental attributes, because of his sweetness, because of his beauty, because of so many reasons of Krishna. He's impelling others. So that's why the devotees are set as impelling, or in that case, it's called Vishayalambana and Ashrayalambana. And then, in the Ashrayalambana, again, there are two things, which is Alapana and Uddipana. So we are going to, Alapana is correct? I'm not sure, but Uddipana is for sure correct. I'll have to look it up. So does that, so because the devotees are impelled, they're object of impelled love, that's why it's mentioned like that. Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhuji. I think thank you for making it clear. And the next line also, it says the same thing what you said. The love which develops when one sees an object which reminds him of Krishna. That,
right.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Lord Krishna, who is the possessor of inconceivable potencies and qualities of transcendental knowledge and bliss, is the basic cause of ecstatic love. Lord Krishna also becomes the reservoir or impetus of the ecstatic love by his different incarnation and expansions. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a statement in connection with Brahma Vimohan Leela which demonstrates something of this impelling or impetus, giving feature of ecstatic love. When Brahma was deluded by Krishna, who expanded himself into so many cowherd boys, calves, and cows, Krishna's elder brother, Sri Baladeva, a direct expansion of Krishna himself, felt astonishment and said, "How wonderful it is that my ecstatic love for Krishna is again being attracted to so many cowherd boys, calves, and cows." He was struck with wonder by thinking in this way. This is one of the examples in which Krishna himself becomes the object and reservoir of the ecstatic love in the impelling aspect. So we'll stop here today, but the last portion, if you can see that it's not like Krishna perpetually remains in the state of object. He, using other incarnations, he is attracted to his own self. So this is a very esoteric or deep feature of the existence or the the deep essence of Lord Gaura's attraction. How can God be attracted to himself? Isn't that just being very narcissist and egoistic? That you come to love your own self. What's your point? People might nobody, because people who understand Gaura will never say that. But for the sake of argument, okay, Lord Gauranga is Krishna himself. Oh, why is he loving himself? In ordinary state, if one loves to that extent, then it becomes a very negative thing. But that Krishna came in the mood to enjoy that love tells how deep, how wonderful this love is that Krishna himself wants to experience. And he experienced as Baladev in this particular last chapter, that he felt that love for Krishna when he expanded himself into cowherd boys, even though he was Krishna himself. He was not different. So this kind of brings back to the original point about why solely Krishna, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, has such ecstatic emotions that he bewilders his own self as Baladev to give impetus to that love. So this is another converging point on why devotees worship only Krishna. What is about Krishna? Why not Ram? Why not Narsingadev? Why not? Of course, devotees who have that particular relationship with the Lord can worship, but more importantly, to the point, like, why only you worship? Why not Shiva? Why not Ganesh? Why not? There are so many others. Because our reason for worshiping Krishna is completely different, and Krishna has such unique qualities that it cannot be replaced by anybody, and to the point that he comes as his own devotee to taste his that particular love. So Krishna becomes like the sole um, object of worship, of love, of so many things that is being mentioned here by Srila Rupa Goswami. So it becomes more and more converging. The whole thing now converges back. Srimad Bhagavatam gives many incarnations of Krishna, and the 10th canto describes about Krishna himself. And this particular reading that we are doing is like so focused on Krishna and his qualities and the moods of love that he generates amongst his devotees just by being who he is. Is that it's a good starting point today? Questions, comments?
Yes, Prabhu, it was a wonderful start.
Thank you. I hope that we will not have such long breaks again.
Technical.
Uh,
Not technical.
Sorry, somebody was speaking. Yes, Gandharvika Mataji, please go ahead.
No, no, I was just saying that it is a lot of technical stuff, though it's juicy.
Right.
But it's good that you didn't have exam on in this side.
Actually, I was also thinking of the same thing.
Yeah, yeah. So it's good that we don't have. We just release one shot. It will be next to impossible to get. Um, the idea being, unless one is extraordinarily, uh, yeah, it is. This is next to impossible. Rupa Goswami, his writings are very terse, very like compact. In one verse, he would compact so much of information that it can be expanded into books. Now, so terse was his writing in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and including his references, citations, including all the other things, there were totally 2,239, if my memory serves me right, verses in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu that that would that are the entire book. That also includes the quotations. Srila Rupa Goswami quotes many places, and then so imagine that already the terse writing is being further compacted by Srila Prabhupada in Nectar of Devotions. So it is but natural that you will not feel you are able to grasp the material at one go. So it is perfectly okay. We'll enjoy whatever we can by the mercy of Krishna, whatever he chooses to reveal, and then let's continue reading. So at least we can explore this. My personal my personal um, or how do you say, my personal tragedy has been that this book should be read by all the devotees at Bhakti Shastri level itself, completely, so that at least we know what is that is so wonderful, or what is this so-called love of God it means that we talk about it so much. So
Yes, Prabhu. Actually, I feel that the purpose of all Vedas and Vedic scriptures is to understand Krishna.
hmm,
Maybe it is by reading these qualities of Sri Krishna, at least we can try beginning to understand what are his qualities.
right, right,
And slowly
right.
coming to understand. I
Wonderful.
know Bhagavatam may be but maybe Nectar of Devotion, something different to understand Krishna a bit. Maybe.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. All right, Prabhus, thank you very much for your patient hearing. Any Shri Gopal Prabhu, did you have any questions? Or,
Uh,
yes. Can you give me just 1 minute? I'll be back just in 1 minute.
Shri Gopal Prabhu, did they already leave?
Yes, Mataji, they just left. Left just means when our class start, I think at the same time they left.
Oh, okay, okay.
From home.
Oh, okay, 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 Prabhu.
At ISP, the kids goes to book distribution every week, Prabhu. Sri Gopal Prabhu.
So yes, Prabhu, this year I think they are going every week now. They started going every week.
Yeah, almost every week, Prabhu. Yeah, and this weekend we're doing both the days.
Okay.
Yeah, actually last year also they went almost every week, I think.
There is 10%, right? 10% of the goal they did, right?
10%, yes.
Yeah. This year
Now,
also,
especially the marathon is also coming, right? So it might be even more.
yeah.
10% of the goal of adults is our goal. Yeah, that's always there.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, today there is this pumpkin festival, so they are all going there.
Okay.
All the kids, lot of kids.
We had Diwali Mela. Today pumpkin, next year. Next week again we have Pleasant and Diwali Mela. Hey, please pray, Prabhu. Everybody. We are doing a drama for Diwali Mela on the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. So,
Where is this, Mataji?
next week, Prabhu, Pleasant and Diwali Mela.
I'm so sorry, I'm back.
Oh,
Okay.
Hare Prabhu.
Sorry, I missed the conversation. Yes, please go ahead.
Oh, no. We were just talking about distribution, Prabhu. Prabhu, I have a question, sorry.
Yes, Mataji.
So Prabhuji, this is, how long will the semester be, Prabhu? And are we going to then read the Tattva Sandarbha and then move to Bhagavatam?
Well, if time permits, we should do that. But if not, then we can always, we can complete the fourth canto and then come back to Tattva Sandarbha. The reason why I request the devotees to read Tattva Sandarbha is because really you get the how fortunate it is that we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam. So it will be a nice experience. So I haven't decided, Mataji. The short answer is at this point, if we have it's getting too much delayed, then we should probably pick up the fourth canto, and then it depends. Tattva Sandarbha is very small. If we just read the verses without waiting for the translation and purport, just the translations without purports, then we should be able to do it in 1 or 2 classes maximum. Have a little bit of discussion, and the devotees can read more in depth if they want to. So that is definitely a possibility if you are interested.
Sure, Prabhu. So I was just thinking that when is this semester finishing, Prabhu? So because I was going to travel in February, I wanted to make sure that. But since you said there is no exam or assignments, I think.
Yeah. So even our very own Rasika Mataji and Govind Charan Prabhu are going to India next week. So it's fine. They can attend there and then. Or you can read whenever they have time. So it is more flexible. So that's why the semester is more, as Vedavit Prabhu so rightly pointed out, is more spontaneous. Yes, Prabhu. All right.
So,
Anything else?
Prabhu, we will continue with this, right? So, regarding the calendar, I thought maybe we'll just, it's not clear as to how much we will cover in each class, right? Because it depends on how deep it is and how many questions are there, right?
Correct. Yes, Mataji. Yes.
Okay.
Actually, we wish you a safe trip, Mataji, and we can't wait for you both to come back soon.
Oh,
Thank you, Prabhu.
thank you, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu, Shivas Prabhu.
Thank you, Shivas Prabhu. Thank you for beginning the class again. It's nice to read again.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Open the association of all your devotees.
Really.
Kripa Sindhubhyo cha Patitana Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.